Hello, and welcome to the fifth question and answer stream. Let me see, I need to get this up so I can see the chat, and then we can dive right into any questions. So what I'm going to do, given that this is the it's good. Given that this is the 2000 sub stream, I'm just going to talk about Petra publications. Assuming this is working properly, let me make sure. Can everyone hear me? Or can anyone hear me, I guess I should say. Let's see here. I'm quiet, okay. Can you hear me now? Is this too loud? Looks like I'm maybe peaking a little bit. There we go. I think this is better. Is that better? Well, as I was going to say, I'm going to talk about mostly Petra publications. I have this in 4 points. Feel free to interrupt me with any questions. I'll stop and answer those as we go. There is 4 points here that I have. How I saw things when I started Petra publications, how we've gone about doing what I initially thought Petra publications might be, and then how it is today. What are we doing right now? And then finally, where I see it going in the future. Where do I see Petra publications being in, 5 or 6 years or something? Or even in the more near future. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to comment those as we go through this. I'll be watching the live chat here. This won't be a very long stream, so if you miss the stream and you're watching this later, or if you think of something later, we're going to do another one of these in the near future, so don't worry about missing that. But let's go ahead and dive into this here. How I saw things when I started Petra Publications. So I started Petra Publications 3 years ago, and I was just looking for a place to release and vent the things that I learned while I was reading. I was reading a lot. No one wanted to hear about it, so I was looking for a place to just sort of get some of that out of my mind. And I also wanted to find a community of people who were also greatly enjoying reading and talking about theology, because I felt like there were people out there, they just weren't right where I was, and so I was looking for anyone, to talk with and to talk to about theology, and specifically doctrinal and theological books. And then I also was wanting to have people correct my wrong theological statements. And the other main thing was I wanted to work on my speaking skills. I had no speaking skills, to speak of, which clearly I still have not refined that skill over the last 3 years. But I really wanted to become a good speaker. I wanted to be able to sit down and talk about pretty much anything without, the anxiety of speaking. And so that was one of the other goals of creating this channel, was to talk about things, to refine my public speaking. And actually, even now, I'm teaching a Sunday school class at church, which I mean, in terms of my ability to speak in front of people, could never have done that a couple years ago. So this was a game changer for that. So I wanted a place where people would correct my theology, which I get all the time, and then also a place where I could refine my speaking skills. And I had a lot of other views too. I wanted to see a lot of things happen. I wanted to see a place where people could come together and talk about theology. I wanted to see a place where people were pointing each other back to Christ and recommending good, solid, reformed literature to each other. Just all kinds of stuff like that. So that's sort of where it came from. When I started Petra Publications, that's what I thought it might be. And then number 2, how we've gone about doing that. So it's been a crazy couple of years. I mean, I remember in 2022, 2 when I hit 50 subs. I just thought, this is the most insane thing. I never thought anybody would watch my content. Never thought anyone would care. And that was a big deal. And I remember being very grateful for that. I sort of I never thought it would be anything more than that. But it was just a thing that I did. I enjoyed doing it. And so every Sunday after church, I would come home, I would record a video, I would edit the video, I would upload the video, and I might write a little thing about it. But it was really nothing exciting. Most of that content is not still available on YouTube. Hope Family Bindery says, the internet will definitely correct your theology, just not always well or in a Christ-like manner. That's exactly right. Many people correcting theology in a very awful way, in a way that sort of makes you go, are you even following the Christ who you claim to be defending? Which actually reminds me, I had a really, really great comment the other day from someone who disagreed with me. And they wrote it in such a beautiful way. They just said, listen, I think this is leaning more on a side that I don't necessarily agree with. I appreciate your perspective. Thanks for the video. And I responded to that comment. I just said, thank you for being Christ-like, not being a horrible Christian. And so anyway, yeah, many people correct. Many people do it in a poor way. So it's actually much more rare that someone corrects something in a Christ-like way. But anyway, so I was just posting once a week and just random videos, things that came to my mind as I was reading. They weren't very well put together. No real effort went into them. It was just me sitting down and talking, no notes or anything like that. So it was very scattered, and my speaking was not very clear on any topic. But yeah, so I started uploading weekly reviews 3 years ago. When I started making content, reviews, I didn't think that would be the thing that I was doing. It wasn't really the goal. But then slowly and steadily it just started. I think the first book review I ever wrote was for Practical Religion by J.C. Ryle. And that one is still live. It's kind of embarrassing, but it is still available as of right now. And then, let's see, what did I write here? It hasn't been entirely consistent over the last 3 years. There were some considerable times away from uploading reviews. I went to school, I was traveling, so I missed a lot of weeks. But even with that being said, we've still reviewed almost 100 books since we started. I think we've reviewed 96 books or something like that, which again is just insane. Never thought we would make it this far. Starting out a couple years ago, I had no inclination that would be the case. And then also 2 years ago, we launched our Discord server. My brother helped me refine it, and really he made it a thing. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, and so he helped me create it, he helped me refine it, and he still helps me run it today. If you're interested in joining, links to that in the description down below. We have a great time there. I think it sort of fulfilled the goal earlier in my thinking of Petra Publications, where the community that I was desiring in terms of people who want and desire to talk about theology is just right there. And we have multiple different chat spaces. We have, a general chat. We have questions so people can ask things. We have a library picks chat, which we enjoy greatly. We get to see other people's libraries. We get to share our own, and we just have a great time with that. So again, if you want to join that, that's down below. Also, if you're just now joining us, welcome to the stream. Feel free to comment any questions while I'm talking. We're just kind of going through the history of Petra Publications in celebration of the 2,000 subscriber mark. So I will stop and answer any questions that you have. But yeah, anyway, so we got that up and running. That was really a lot of fun, and it sort of transitioned from a previous live stream. People joined the Discord server from that live stream, and that was great. And then in April of last year, my then girlfriend, my now wife, and I, we relaunched Petra Publications. We created, I should say, she created a new logo, which was big. That was very big for Petra Publications, because I didn't have anything. I have no talent in that regard whatsoever. But she was like, let me just do this real quick. And so I just gave her some ideas, and she made this great logo that's still our logo now. We worked really hard to launch our new website, which is still our current website. And then we also launched a bunch of merch at that time. And so that was very exciting. That was very big. Again, sort of bringing to life the goals and the ideas that I had when I started Petra Publications, without any way of getting there on my own. So I'm very grateful for that. And then we also started posting every week on our journal page there, and so we have not missed an upload since April of last year. Outside of when we got married, we took, I think, 3 weeks off. But otherwise, the Lord has blessed us with time and content to create. So we're thankful for that as well, and that's just been a blessing. Very, very great. So that was point one, how I saw things when I started Petra Publications, and then how things, or how we've gone about doing that. Before I get into point three, do you have any questions? I see that there are a couple people who have joined since the last time I mentioned. We're just sort of talking about Petra Publications. If you have any questions, feel free to comment those in the chat. I'm watching that, and will interrupt my talking to answer those as best I can. And my chiming clock is going off behind me here. But welcome to the stream. Looks like we have 10 people watching now. That's very, very exciting. All right, well, let's just go ahead and dive into how it is today. And before we even, I don't want to say anything on how things are going today without just saying all the glory be unto God. We are not... I don't want to boast in any of this. This is all giving thanks to the Lord for the work that he's done in blessing Petra Publications. And this is not like a pat on the back or anything like that. And I hope it does not come across that way. Hope Family Bindery says, any more giveaways planned for the end of the year? I need to know ahead of time so I can contribute. Oh, that would be great. Yeah. I mostly do giveaways sort of as the ideas come to me. So if you have anything in mind, I would be interested in possibly doing that. But I don't have anything planned. Oh, my wife just reminded me. She's sitting over here. I actually did have something planned, and I forgot. So this fall... Hang on one second. Let me just get this out here. This fall, we're going to go through, this next semester, the Puritan treasures for today. There are 17 of them, and I'm going to actually get into more of that in just a minute, which is why I forgot, because it's in my notes later. But at any rate, we're going to go through all of them, all 17 volumes, 1 week at a time. I have 5 of them already. And my thought is, I'm going to get the whole set. I will give away these 5. If I could manage to either procure funds or the books themselves, I would add the other 12 volumes to the giveaway as I review them. I'm either thinking, and maybe you can help me refine this idea. If I had all of the books, I'd either like to do one giveaway every time I review the book. I would say this is the review of Triumphing Over Sin, and if you'd like to win, or Sinful Fear, and if you'd like to win this, or a free copy of this, whatever. Or I can do it as a whole set. You can win the set at the end of the series. I'm not sure which I would do. I was planning to just do individual giveaways, given I only had the 5. But at any rate, so that's what we'll be doing this fall semester after we wrap up Reformation and Revival, which we're almost through with, which is just wild. That did not take very long. Just went straight through. But yeah, anyway, so that would be great. As I was just saying, the things that I'm going to say in this How It Is Today section of my thoughts here, again, no pat on the back to us or to me or anything like that. This is giving thanks to the Lord for the blessings he's given to Petra Publications. So this summer we set out to post more than just weekly content by boosting regular videos to twice a week, usually, well, most weeks, Thursday and Friday uploads, which has proved rather successful. We had one video in particular that has done very well, which you probably saw. That was the 13 books every Christian should read. So that has done very, very well. The reviews, they're maintaining the same viewership. I don't do the reviews for views. That's not the point. So when they don't get very many views, it's sort of disappointing, but it's not. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. We've also been able to do short reviews twice a week. My brother, again, doing the shorts for the channel. That's been so helpful. And then at least once a week, I've been doing posts on the community tab, which some have been more popular, I guess you could say, than others. But they've been really great, and I've enjoyed taking pictures and just making things look nice. And then at least once no, I just read that. No, my wife is also running an Instagram account now, which we didn't have before. We haven't, I guess it's new, so we haven't had too much traction there. But me editing the short smiley face. So yeah, we haven't had too much success there yet, but it's growing, and that is another thing that's been very helpful and great. And we've been able to do daily uploads there since we started that account. So that's also been really great. If you're just tuning in, let me pause real quick and welcome you to the stream. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. Through the stream so far, I've just been talking about Petra Publications in celebration of the 2,000 sub milestone. We started with how I saw things when I started Petra Publications, and then we went to how we've gone about doing that and creating that goal. And now we're on point 3, how it is today by the grace of God. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we do still have this Discord server, which has been so much fun, and it's been great getting to know some of the people who watch the channel. We've had a great time talking and sharing pictures and book references and quotes. It's just been a lot of fun. And so if you're not in the Discord server, please come join the Discord server. We have a great time there. Hopefully Family Bindery says, you're getting more traction on Insta than I am. And I've been having more luck on X. Oh, interesting. I guess we should do that too. Since you mentioned your Instagram, we've really enjoyed looking at your books. They're beautiful. If you have Instagram or X, I guess, you should check out Hope Family Bindery. He has some really nice, not rebinds, but original binding books. You can correct me if I'm saying that incorrectly, but they are fantastic. And you'll probably hear more about Hope Family Bindery in the coming weeks. We'll keep that a secret for now. But we have some things in the works. Anyway, yeah, check Hope Family Bindery out. Really great work there. And then another thing, this is the obvious one because that's what the stream is about, but we hit the 2,000 subscriber milestone. Crazy stuff. Again, never thought that would happen. So grateful for each and every one of you. It is because of your subscribing and all of that we've been able to have some really amazing experiences and connections happen. Should we call you Vortec on here? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But anyway, that leads me into this other, having connections sort of leads me into another thing, which actually, let me read this comment and then I'll come back to that. Thanks. I still have a long way to go, but I've been pretty happy with how they've been turning out. Congrats on 2K, brother. Thank you. Yeah, keep up the great work. I mean, they're really beautiful. I mean, yeah, fantastic. My wife is saying yes, they are. So anyway, his username is on Discord was Vortex. Okay, I see. He changed it recently. Anyway, so this is the thing I want to talk about. Because we were at the 2,000 milestone, I keep messing up, 2,000 subscriber milestone, I reached out to Reformation Heritage Books, and I just said, do you provide books to people who review books? And they responded to me today, actually, and they said, yes, we do. What are you looking for? And I was like, I would love the Puritan Treasures for Today, the complete set. And they are going to send me one of those for review, which is just fantastic, and so grateful for that. Makes what I'm doing here a possibility. And that was just a really great encouragement to continue the work that I'm doing here, because it is making somewhat of a difference, I guess. And we've also had a lot of really encouraging emails and messages and sorry, yeah, I was reading the chat and I got lost in thought. We've received a lot of really encouraging emails, messages, comments that have really just been a delight. I mean, things like, I'm reading some books because of the review that you've done, or I got to talk to this person because I was wearing this piece of merch, or just stuff like that. It's crazy, and people comment and say, my whole library is based off of the things you've reviewed here. It's just wild. And then Luke K and Christine, it's so good to see you guys. I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to have you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, I'm just rambling, sort of. I have some notes, but I'm just saying words at this point. If you have any questions, I will stop and answer those, and in between my talking here. But also all of these things with emails and texts and subscribers and comments and all of this, accountability has been a very important thing. I was just emailing a supporter of the channel earlier today, and I told him I've been talking to my pastor a lot, and a little sneak peek to what we're going to do in the future. Probably he's going to come on the channel at some point on Disciplined Disciple. I'm hoping to talk about the topic of revival, something in there to wrap up Reformation and revival. But at any rate, I've been talking to him a lot about accountability. We have seen, or I have seen anyway, too many, specifically young men who, go from no following to, a substantial or somewhat substantial following, and it just wrecks them completely. And I won't name any names, but you can probably think of a few. And I just really would like to guard against that, so that I'm not either embarrassed myself or you're not embarrassed on my behalf. And I'd like to have that kind of accountability for myself and for Petra Publications as a whole. And so just been talking to him on how, different ways to have that accountability. And one of the things that he recommended was to make a mission statement, to write a mission statement, so that every time we write or we make something or we upload content, we see it, we think it, we make sure that it's a part of that mission statement. And so we went ahead and we wrote a mission statement, which is, we exist to invite, encourage, and challenge the church to read, reflect, and contemplate. And really, it is our prayer and our desire for everyone to read and to think about what they're reading and to meditate on what they're reading, and then finally to live out the thing that they're reading. So every time we make content now, that will be our mission statement, to hold us accountable. And you as the viewer, hold us accountable as well. Don't let us slide into arrogance or heresy. Tobias says, can you give recommendations on books from church fathers pre-Augustine? I want to know more about the early church. Now, I must admit, I am no expert on church history at all. It has been a weak spot in my reading. And earlier this year, I picked up Philip Schaff's, History of the Christian Church? Yeah, History of the Christian Church. It's the red one up behind me here. And that was very helpful, but I got distracted and pulled into some other reading, and so I I don't even think I got out of biblical times with Schaff. I think I was still with Paul or something. So I would love to recommend some books to you, but I would rather not, given I have not read enough about them. So if anyone in the chat has recommendations, I will probably take them also because I need to also read up on the church fathers. If you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. Feel free to comment any questions. If you're watching this later, I guess you would have already heard me say this, but if you have anything or if you think of anything later, just go ahead and put those in the comment section, because we're going to do another one of these streams in the near future. It won't be 6 or 7 months like this last one was. But at any rate, going back to Petra Publications right now, we also have worked very hard on getting our subscription platform set up so that we could receive support and also provide something to the viewer. And so that's called Bibliophiles, with a Files, which is just sort of a place where you can gather resources if you're writing or you're studying theology. It's also a place for the community to kind of gather together. We have discounts on merch. You actually get free merch depending on which tier you join. It can be a different thing. So we have that. There's also just a huge list of quotes that we've put together from both myself and my wife's reading. Those are really, really great. I use them every time I write anything or prepare any kind of lecture or anything. So I highly recommend that. And so if you're interested in anything like that, please feel free to check out Bibliophiles, which I think is linked down below. If not, if you go to our website, there will be a banner at the top, or you can scroll down and find Bibliophiles on there. Nick Needham's 2,000 Years of Christ's Power is great for a casual, not overly academic read. Really enjoyed that. Great. I will probably pick one of the... I'm not familiar with that. I'll probably pick one up and see if I can read some about the fathers also. And then Luke says he was going to say the same thing. Mark says, hi, Davis, congratulations to you and your now wife. Thank you so much. I was just curious who would be some desired individuals, theologians, etc. you would love to have on the podcast. Well, long-term goals, perhaps unrealistic, but I would love to have Paul Washer and Joel Beakey come on the show. Those are just two people that have greatly impacted me. Just like I had Dr. Everhard come on. Those are two more individuals that would be great. But honestly, anyone, anyone who, like my pastor, for instance, who I want to have come on and talk about revival. He is someone who has experienced revival, who is witnessing revival, both personally and corporately. And I think, depending on the topic, obviously it would change who I would want to have on the show. But when I had Dr. Everhard on, we talked about sanctification. We talked about... the G-Man says, I knew exactly how you were going to respond to that. I'm pretty predictable. And there are others I would, desire to have on, but those are the first two that come to mind. But anyway, that's pretty much that. Oh, that's so cool. Getting to meet Everhard. Yeah. He's a pretty cool dude. Obviously, my only claim to fame with Everhard is, an hour long. That's the only interaction I've ever had with him, so it's not really that impressive. Don't even really know how tall he is or anything. So, but yeah, great guy. Very kind and loving. Someone wants to know if you can meet my wife. She's saying no. She's saying no. So silently. But Jay says, "Hey Davis, hello Jay." But anyway, so I guess I have one more section here to get into, and this is where I see it going in the future. Where do I see Petra Publications going in the future? If you have any questions or comments or anything, again, feel free to put those in the chat. I'll answer those as I go. But where do I see Petra Publications in the future? Well, I would love to see the book reviews continuing every week or every other week in the future. I'm not sure the sustainability of weekly content, although it really hasn't been that terrible on me. It's a lot of reading, it's a lot of prep work, but it's a passion work. I love it, and I love that people enjoy watching it and are helped by it, and so it really is something that I love doing. And so hopefully seeing those book reviews continue every week or at least every other week would be great. And then, as we mentioned already, inviting more people on the podcast. And I think as the channel continues to grow and expand, I think having Petra Publications be a name would help in getting people on. Whereas right now, I send a cold email and I'm like, hey, I run this small YouTube channel. Would you like to come on? And I may or may not hear back from them. And so as the channel expands and grows, having more people come on, I think would be a lot of fun and could be very edifying for myself and for everyone. And then very long-term goal here, I'd love to see Petra Publications on the bottom of a book. I'd love to see our own books being published, and I'd love to see reprints of classic Reformed books that are not in print right now with the name Petra Publications at the bottom of it. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that would be great. And anyway, Jay doesn't know how to spell channel. I pick on him because I know who he is in real life. It's good. Anyway, you cannot join me on the channel until you learn how to spell channel. So anyway, that would be long-term goal. That would be fantastic. I think there's a need for that. There's a lot of reprinting happening right now, which is great. But there is a gap. Like I think a lot of the the Sprinkle publication books, for instance, that have impacted me so greatly, they're not being printed right now. A lot of them, anyway. So I think to have those reprinted would be fantastic, and our own works. We're sort of there's a lot of writing that goes into preparing for these reviews, and I'm writing a lot for the series. Did a fairly lengthy paper for What Happened to Manhood. I'm currently working on a closing paper for next Friday for the close of Reformation and Revival. And there's just a lot of writing, so I think eventually having our own books to publish would also be a lot of fun. IJ says, I just tuned in. Don't know if you've answered this question before, but are there any major differences between Scottish Reformers and the Dutch Reformers? I mentioned earlier, someone asked about the Church Fathers. I have not read much of this, and so I don't want to give a definitive answer. I know that their theology later is different because you have Dutch Reformed as a denomination, and you have Presbyterian as a denomination. Also, we spent some time looking at the Summer of Scots, that was the title of the series, Summer of Scots. We took some time looking at some Scottish theologians, which does differ some, or even significantly in some cases, from the Dutch Reformed. Like if you read Beeke today, but I don't know enough about it to answer that definitively. Again, deferring to the chat here, but there are some differences. I could not tell you exactly what they are, but anyway. Well, that is all I have planned for this live stream. If you have questions, I guess I will leave the chat open here for a couple more minutes. My rambling is complete. I have been, let's see, Grant says, after I started watching your channel, I've started reading tons and tons of theological books this past week, J.C. Ryle's Gospels, and 6 of MLJ Romans. Wow, that's great. Very awesome. Thank you so much for your comment, and I'm so glad that these reviews have been helpful to you. That's great. Mark says, reach out to Sean Demars. I think he'd definitely come on. No problem. That would be cool. I'm not familiar with him. I will check that out as well. That could be great. Any other comments before we end this stream tonight? Have you read Memoir and Remains of Robert Ray McCheyne? No. Okay. So it is on the shelf back here. My wife had it, so it is now on our shelf. So I have read the. I've done the Bonner one, the memoir of. The Diary and Life of Andrew Bonner. I've read that one twice or 3 times, but I have yet to read the McCheyne one, and that's embarrassing. I admit my wife is looking at me with she's casting judgment. Oh boy, what are my opinions of the Reconquista? Oh no. I don't know. I think the heart is in the right place. I'm not sure the method is correct. That gets into a lot of muddy water. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into that. It's a lot to discuss when it comes to that, but anyway, not a huge fan. I'll just say that. I think you should attend a church that is biblical and Bible preaching and Bible believing, gospel teaching. But that's sort of my 2 cents. Great. I will look at that. He is indeed not done rambling. Well played, Jay. Well played. Oh, he's at the Boardwalk Chapel. I have been there a couple times. Good luck on your homily. I hope that goes well, and that's great. Fantastic. Yeah, hope that goes well. Thank you for stopping by, Josh. Appreciate it. Yes, I agree. I think we're planning to do that like pretty much every January, though I think we may end up doing it before then, just because it's changed so much since January. Because we've expanded a good bit with my wife's addition. So so anyway, awesome. Well, let me see. I feel like I missed somebody's comment. Oh, it was Grant's. Yeah, please. Love to see your library. That'd be great. All right. Well, unless there are any other comments or questions, I believe I will end the stream here. It was short, but again, planning to do another one. So if you're just joining, or if you've missed it, we'll do another. Save your questions or comments, and we'll address them next time. IJ says, have you read or reviewed Christian's Reasonable Service by Brackle? No, I have not. That is on my to be purchased list, which is ever expanding and growing, beyond my my budget for books. Hope Family Bindery says, I might have to do a tour of my library. It's gotten pretty expansive. That would be great too. Love to see your library. And Christine says a new library tour would be great. We need to do a library tour. So anyway, are you sure you don't want to say hi before we go? She says, is that a no? She's saying no. So we will see you, or at least I will, at some point in the near future, Lord willing, on tomorrow. Actually, we have a review coming out. Wow, there are 16 people. Welcome to the stream. We are going to end the stream, but again, if you're just now joining us, we will do another one very soon, and feel free to rewatch this or join us again next time. We'll probably do this in about 2 weeks, based on sort of what I'm looking at with the calendar and everything. So if you're interested in that, I'd love to have you join us again. And this has been great. I always love hearing from you all, and hope you're doing well. You're in my prayers daily. And that is all for today. So Lord willing, I will see you again very soon. God bless.